participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the Township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the Township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the Township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the Township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
Okay. We will call the March 11th meeting of the East St. Peter Township Planning Commission to order. To my left is John Thompson and Jansen Herb, Sarah Ryder to my right, Jason Dagan, Ralph Hutchinson, Township Manager, Tara Hitchens, Assistant Township Manager, and Lee Orbitz. No one on Zoom, I'm assuming. Janessa, we'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, you've all received the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Are there any changes, adjustments, questions? Members of the commission? Hearing none. Motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the February 11th meeting.
Motion by Jansen,
Second.
second by Sarah. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? So moved. We have no old business. New business, we have a request from FedEx that we want to call it Village Lane, Longview Village Lane. Waiver of land development plans. We received a letter dated February 28th, 2025. And can I turn it to?
So a letter was submitted with this request for waiver of land development for the placement of a trailer, basically, with 2 overhead doors. And this connects then to the existing overhead door on the building. And so it turns 1 overhead door into 2 overhead door loading areas, as you can see on the screen. So, however, this changes some parking area on the site, and it changes the route in which the trucks come onto the site and back into the loading area. That's going to result in some movement of parking spaces. And so I would ask from staff's perspective that the condition you put on approval of the waiver of land development is that they submit a stormwater management plan within 60 days.
You're adding additional parking.
So they're moving it. Just behind the existing loading area, there is approximately 30 parking spaces. And so those need to be relocated onto the various portions of the site.
Is there additional impervious area being added to the site or
There
not?
will be, yes.
I don't know the lot very well, but is there any concern with regard to emergency management personnel and accessing the property and traffic flow and that sort of thing?
So as we go through the stormwater management plan process, it will be provided to emergency providers for review.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
When you say 60 days within like the approval
Approval by the board of
the
land development.
Okay.
Yes. So it's my understanding this trailer loading facility will not always be used. It will be actually used and not used at some points in time. And so it is somewhat temporary, but it changes the way their lot functions. And so that's why I asked them to come in for the waiver of land development. And they're aware that the condition is a stormwater management plan, and they've been working on that.
So when not in use, stored someplace else on the site.
It would be.
Questions from commission members? Not on the one I already asked. Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the waiver of land development plan request for 1851 Colonial Village Lane as presented with the condition that the stormwater management plan be submitted for approval?
I motion to approve that subject to the stormwater management plan being submitted within 60 days. It also addresses any concerns with management personnel.
Good motion from John. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Sarah. Any additional conversation, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion is passed. The item of new business tonight, we have a briefing item for Stoltz Foods Woodwork, the 3.4 Willow Road and the Willow Road.
So 324 Willow Road is adjacent to the church property and to John Buckwalter property. So and we saw the plan for the King property at 338. I wanted to say Stoltz Foods, but that's this property. So the King property at 338, and they were tearing down one of their greenhouses and putting up a new larger greenhouse. And they also, prior to that, if you recall, subdivided a portion to this property, 324 Willow. Okay, so this is to construct a 50 by 50 storage area building. And the current applicant has a number of gazebos, sheds, various type of structures that he constructs and then sells, and they're stored all around the property. And so he needs to account for that in the stormwater portion of this. So you'll see this. Their consultant says at the next planning commission meeting. However, the review letter from DMA was,
Wait.
those are all good words. Yes.
Lumber and stuff they're gonna store in there, they're not gonna put the sheds that they build in.
My understanding.
Okay. Moving right along. Under other business, planning commission. Report. They are presenting a copy of that report. Narrative and then they'll explain the process in 2024. So,
Thank you. So you can see that the summary of the year in review for the planning commission may include some projects that started before 2024, but it's what you actually took action on in 24 that we report on in the annual report to the board of supervisors. So if you are all in agreement with what's written here, then we will ask that you make a motion for Randy to sign the letter to be then forwarded to the board of supervisors who would accept the annual report under the municipality's planning code.
John, you're not listed because you did not begin.
Do not feel excluded. It's perfect.
Sarah, under membership, I just noticed you forgot the four in 2024.
First one.
Okay, thank you.
That's not very nice. Typo.
We will make that change, but we'll ask that you still recommend Randy to fund the letter portion.
Let's just address that piece. Then if we have questions about this, we'll be, is there a motion to authorize me as chair to sign this letter and to file the report as presented by Kara? That's the one, correct?
We'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Too slow. Sarah, second. Any final conversation on the letter? Fairly simple. Favor say aye. There is. Anything you wanted to highlight on the spreadsheet, Sarah? I don't think.
Didn't have it on a date of it.
It's very fun.
I don't believe so. I mean, you all have did or contributed in all of these projects, including the zoning amendment, the conditional use. And what's not on here is review of other municipalities' actions, which was Leslie and Peter Township's zoning overhaul and Township, yes, the referral. More than what's on that spreadsheet.
State standard, the number of extensions the township can provide.
It's not.
For the township, if they're still interested in.
Correct. And there have been some where the board has said, we're done.
Any questions on the spreadsheet? Any last comments from staff? None. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Jansen moves. Jason second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? So moved. Thank you, everyone. Quick meeting. I only